talked for like 5 minutes straight and realized that I wasn't even recording. So let's start over. How are you guys doing? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great, and this is the Real Housewives of Atlanta, a rum punch to the gut review, season 14, episode 13 episode. So I am going to be doing reviews for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm going to try to catch up on Love and Hip Hop premiere review as well. I'm going to try to get to Basketball Wives. I might be able to get to Married to Medicine, and I also want to be able to do Love After Lockup. If I can get to all of them this week, I will. If I cannot, then you can just look forward to the episodes I do get to. I'm currently pregnant, so I'm obviously fatigued and very tired, so it's very hard for me to do episodes as frequently as I used to do it. So, you know, my apologies for that. I have to worry about my health first. I also just came back from Dominican Republic. I think I paid about $384 for an all-inclusive resort for 3 nights called Dreams Royal Beach Punta Cana Hotel. And all-inclusive meaning that they had 5 restaurants. It's all you can eat. You can go there, and because you've already paid the resort, you just go there, give them your room number, they'll give you food. The resort is actually on the beach. The round trip ticket itself was economy for about $636. So less than $1,000 you can go on this trip. Pools everywhere. There's an all-night nightclub if you do go on the adult side, and there are other things that they offer like a spa, and then obviously if you want to do things like parasailing or you want to go scuba diving, those are extra. You can pay. They're like $30 a person to parasail, but you have to have 2 people at a time. So there's certain things that you can do over there, but I just came back, I'm a little bit jet lagged, so bear with me because I'm also playing catch up. So in this particular episode, in this review, let's get into it, because Sanya decided that this would be the perfect time for her to now redeem herself after that Party City type, I guess, soiree with the, dollar balloons that she used to plan for Sharee's birthday party, I guess, surprise at her home. Now, I understand that she's budgeting, obviously, because now they're doing something with their house. They have everybody in their family living in the house with her. I get that. What I don't get is the rules that she gave the girls, saying, oh, we have to be on our best behavior because, this is something that they're sponsoring me for. I don't want to, to embarrass me. This is a Real Housewives show. It's reality TV, meaning that we get our juice from some kind of drama or argument popping up. You cannot say that you're going to go to Jamaica with all these girls who some of them don't even get along and don't expect anything to happen or to pop off. At this point, the way that Sanya operates, I do not care to see her next season. I would be okay if she doesn't come. I'll be perfectly fine if I don't have to deal with Sanya moving forward, because I think that her entire scene in the season and whatever, it's boring me, and the fights that she's picked are just inconsequential, and the two-facedness of her behavior is just annoying. I don't think that she doesn't give. Okay, we had people like Nene, Phaedra, Sharee. She's just falling behind on the wayside. Like, I don't even want to see her. And I've read several comments to people saying that we don't want to see her either. So I'm just at this point like, Sanya can go. Next season, she will not be missed at this point. She's not a horrible person. She's just not giving it for me. Then we get into this episode, and we already know that at the end of the episode, Kandi and Todd read Marlo for filth. And I can't seem to understand why Marlo keeps putting herself in a situation where it's just a colossal embarrassment. This is a nationally televised show. I can watch Real Housewives in Nigeria if I wanted to. And we're watching you embarrass yourself all season. It's just been one smack in your face after another. You're trying to be a victim, but your ass is also a villain. It's so hard to empathize with Marlo's plight when you see her behave the way that she behaved at the end of this episode. And I'm going to get into what I mean by that. But we begin with everybody getting ready for Jamaica. And, Sanya gave them specific hairstyles, eyelash extension size, nail style that she wanted them to do, amount of clothes she wanted them to pack, the words she wanted them to use. She basically prepped them like she was planning for her wedding for this trip. But Kenya is going to do whatever she wants to do, because she is not going to be bossed by anybody, especially after dealing with Mark and his bossness. She ain't going to be ran over by anybody, and I love her for it. Drew calls Kenya and discusses the situation and them going, and how they're gonna how Sanya kind of tailor things and what kind of hairstyle she's gonna use, and if they're gonna get along, and the fact that Sanya did put pressure on Kenya to be a couple. Not necessarily that she has to bring somebody that she's dating, but you have to bring somebody with you. And Kenya lets us know that in this situation she intends to also stay longer, because her birthday is going to be around the same time that she's also in Jamaica, and she wants to be able to enjoy herself on her birthday. And I'm kudos for her, girl. And enjoy yourself. I like Kenya in this atmosphere. I like her when she's not attached to somebody who's emotionally draining her and bringing her down. She feels like she's more authentic. She's happier. I love happy Kenya. So for Kenya, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, because Sanya's rules are just dumb. Don't pay attention to it. Then we get to Drew, Ralph, and the conversation about their son, Josiah. Now, the talk that Drew had is that Ralph did tell her in the beginning stages, I don't know if it was their relationship or their marriage, that he would like to adopt Josiah, right? His stepson. However, he also disclosed that he did have a conversation with Josiah's biological father, who expressed that that is not something that he would want because he would like to be in his son's life in the future. I don't know what the circumstances are now. I don't know if the father is in his life right now. I don't know if it was financially, physically. I don't even know what the situation is as going as far back with Drew and that man. I'm sure she explained it initially when she first came into this series, but I don't remember it because it's been such a long time. All I know is now that Ralph has talked to Josiah's biological father, he's a little bit resistant to now take on the responsibility of adopting Josiah for the simple fact of respecting the man who actually seeded Drew's garden to make Josiah. It doesn't necessarily mean that Ralph isn't any less of a father to him, or Ralph is not going to take care of him, or Ralph is not going to be there. They're all living in the same house. He probably calls him dad. He's already taking care of him. The love is there and felt by this child. It's just not something on paper out of respect. So Drew is forcing this. The thing about this is, if Ralph said he was going to do it and then had a conversation with the father, and whatever conversation they had resulted in him kind of taking a step back out of respect for that man and the child that he made, I can understand it. Right? At the same time, even if Josiah's father is not a present father, do I think it's appropriate to just rip someone's child away from them? I don't know. I think that subject is a little bit touchy to discuss. What I don't like is Drew's pressure on him, because he did say that it's like she's pressuring. Well, I don't know why you wouldn't do it. I don't get it. You said you wouldn't do it anyway. I don't know if Drew's doing it with malicious intent because she does not care about her ex's, Josiah's dad's feelings, that she doesn't care about how he feels. She doesn't care the fact that he's the one that helped her have him. None of that matters to her. Her feelings don't matter. She just wants to do things her way, just regardless of how the other man is taking it, being that she did sleep with him to make that baby. I don't know all the intricacies of it. I think I'll need more details to be able to come to a conclusion as to how I feel about this entire situation. But they did talk about how Ralph is writing a book to explain what the trials and tribulations that he went through to becoming a step parent, and what other people in his position might be experiencing in that level. You know, I'm a step parent too. So, and for me, I've been the step kid and I'm now the step parent. So I've seen both sides of the coin, and I'm actually going to be writing about it to explain the things I experienced and what I learned from them, and how I'm implementing my own steps as a step parent, and how, but he wants to write about it, and he wants to now market this book, and he also wants Drew to help him write it because it's very important to him. Now, Drew's concern is not necessarily the book. Her concern is, are you going to adopt Josiah or not? She's not even paying attention to any other thing except for that. And that part is what makes me a little bit resistant. Why is Drew forcing this instead of allowing him to come to that conclusion on his own? Because if Ralph adopts Josiah under pressure, it's going to come back to bite their marriage in the ass. That's just facts. Then we get to Jamaica. The girls are all heading to Jamaica, right? Marlo obviously don't want to pay for her nephews to come over and do anything. She wants to use her money on herself because she's inherently selfish. So she chose to bring her florist. Now, this situation where what's her name said is a couple's trip, you can bring anybody. I don't think that kids are the best to bring them on here, but you could at least bring them and have them do something on the island or something like that to bond with them. Instead, you chose your florist. So you rather bring this person than spend time with your nephew. This is why Marlo is kind of like a complete paradox to me. What she says and what she does, I'm trying to make sense of it, and it's very difficult to make sense of because it makes absolutely no sense to the sensible person. It just doesn't. Her decision-making process is flawed. Her choices is flawed. Her attitude is flawed. I mean, her lace front was once flawed too, along with her. But I don't know how to take Marlo. Even as a grain of salt, her behavior is just deplorable in this entire season, and I'm not going to change my mind. Then Kenya chose to wait and decided about her plus one. I guess the first plus one is sick or not there. So, of course, Sanya has a problem with it. But Sanya, shut up. Every time you speak, I'm bored. Then we have Todd on there. Todd is there. He's now on an alcohol cleanse, but he's also there to support his wife, Kandi. Everybody seems to have brought somebody on their trip. Drew brought her husband, Ralph, and it seems to be working out. Now, Monyetta brought her own boo, her own hubby there, and I would prefer that they trade Monyetta for Marlo for Monyetta. That's what I would like. I prefer her than Marlo. They gave that heifer a peach, and that peach then went to her head and blew it up to where she's just a hot ass mess. Then we have They get to their hotel. It's a 3-level resort. Kandi lets us know that she herself has been to the resort before, but she's not gonna let nobody know that she's been there. It's very beautiful. They're now, you know, dictating who's gonna get which room. Kenya on the other corner is over there looking for Mr. Rebound by the name of John, who she thinks has a good personality, but the man is fine. Ken, you better get your groove back, because she said she's up for dating somebody between 30 to 60. I said, girl, 30, 60, whatever age he is, that man is fine. He is fine. Now, Kenya doesn't have a good track record of picking guys. They did show the list of guys she picked while she's been on Real Housewives of Atlanta. They have not been good guys. However, looking at this one, we don't need her to get married or jump into a serious relationship. We just need her to jump into a serious sexist ship. That's what we want her to do. Kenya has been lacking. Mark has not been given. Aside from giving her Brooklyn, that is the last thing he gave her. She has been dying to get laid. This man needs to go over here and just dust out those cobwebs and rock her world and let her know what she been missing, because Mark wasn't doing it. Then we have dinner time with the couples, right? So everybody, they've explored, they've, you know, seen their rooms. They're not gonna go eat. Everybody decides that they want gumbo. I want a gumbo too, because gumbo is a bomb, okay? Then Sharee brings up Ralph's book, you know, asking him how the book is going and stuff like that. You know, she heard about it. Marlo interjects and says, you know, I'm so happy to hear that, you know, I'm guessing there's some side conversations that have happened with Drew and Marlo. So Marlo knew what the fuck she was doing when she opened her mouth and said, you know, I'm so happy that you decided to adopt Josiah after you said that you would adopt him. Then Ralph, of course, wanted to correct that, saying, you know, I talked to the father, and based on what he and I discussed, I don't think he'd be comfortable with me adopting him, so I might want to kind of like rethink what I'm going to do. Drew jumps in, and, you know, she's not hearing facts. Drew, like I said, does not listen. She only hears the parts of the conversation that she wants to hear. That's all. So she jumps in and says, yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't do it. He said that he was going to do it. Marlo takes this opportunity to insert her opinion that was not asked for in somebody else's relationship that she does not have. I don't think it's fair that you would tell that boy that you're going to adopt him because I was a foster care person. I don't want him to feel like you love the other kids better than him. First of all, Marlo, how the hell would you know what Josiah feels in Drew and Ralph's household? You don't live with them. You're not there to see their interaction. We barely see them on TV, so we don't know how they interact with Ralph. We don't know the extent of the relationship that Josiah has built with Ralph. For you to fix your lips and open your mouth and say that you don't want him to feel like he's been left out when you just told your nephews that you chose to take care of when their mother had a mental health issue to get the fuck out. Ralph did not tell that to Josiah. Right now, he's not even discussing this with Josiah. He's having the conversation with adults. Josiah is still very much their part of the family. He's still very much taking care of him. Josiah is still very much in their house, and he's not abusing that poor kid. How dare you open your mouth and use your foster care situation as a justification to say this irrational reasoning of yours when you, out of everybody in that group, you don't have a right to be telling anybody what to do about their kids the way that you acted with the ones you had for temporary reasons. Girl, shut up. So while she's doing this, Kandi peeped what I was thinking. Kandi talked to her and says, I don't think that you're the person to open your mouth and even interject and let him know what he should be doing with Josiah when your ass was over here going to therapy sessions talking about how you can handle your nephews because they can clean their room, they can do their laundry, they're lying to you as if that's not what teenagers do naturally. You're sitting up here, you kicked them out, sent them over to your sister's house in a 2-bedroom apartment when she already had 4 kids of her own, can't afford it. You dumped those extra 2 boys in there to have your sister deal with it financially, deal with it space-wise, and you got the audacity to now critique how she's handling the kids, and you want to fix your mouth and insert yourself and tell another parent what they're supposed to do with their kids, the ones they didn't kick out. Girl, shut up. And Marlo, true to form, whatever her back is about is against the corner, she talks out of her ass. So she turned around, and the next thing she says is now starts to go into Todd and Kandi's relationship. She says, I don't think it's right that your mom comes before your husband. And I said, this is a huge deflect, number one. Number two, we all know that as a black man, or as any man for that matter, if the wife is treating the husband as if the mom comes first, eventually they get tired and they'll leave. Todd's ass is still there. And Mama Joyce has since apologized to Todd because she knew she was out of freaking line. She was like the mama that was looking at Kandi as her husband. And when Kandi found a real husband, she didn't want to let him go. That happens in a lot of situations, and because Marlo herself hasn't had anybody except for her sponsors and people that she pays, the Johns that she had, the escort service she has, she has no concept of the dynamics and the intricacies that occur when relationships are in play. There's always that one family member that tries to do some dumb stuff to try to get into your marriage until afterwards they just give up because it's not gonna, whatever they do is not going to change the fact that you two are still going to get married and still going to be happy. So Kandi's listening to this and Kandi's responding. Then she says, Your man feels belittled by your mother. First of all, Todd didn't ask you to speak for him. Todd didn't ask you to open your mouth and talk to his wife about what he's feeling. How would you know? Todd doesn't even talk to you, Marlo. You're just ripping, and everybody's just sitting there listening to this heifer make an ass out of herself. And nobody is trying to tell this girl, you got Kenya talking to Sharee, talking about, that's your friend. This is how she's acting. She's showing every bit of her liposuction booty, whatever's left over on this table and on this trip. Sanya is over there looking lost, like she don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. What's worse? What's worse than this? Girl, shut up. This is reality TV. I don't know why you acting shocked. Then we have Marlo saying that everybody in Atlanta said that she was bad mouthing Todd, and Todd is sitting there the whole time, and then she now starts telling Kandi, you take care of your man, you take care of your mom, you take care of this. And I'm just like, first of all, she has the money to take care of whoever the hell she wants to, and because you've never been married, you don't understand that when you get married, whatever money that you both bring into the marriage belongs to you both. So whatever Kandi brought to the marriage belongs to her and Todd was not somebody that was without a job when they met. And they flash back to when Kandi first met. Todd has a beautiful smile. That man is fine. I'm not gonna lie, he is fine. And your jealous butt that don't have a husband is opening your mouth trying to pick. I think she was trying to cause a fight between Todd and Kandi, and they just didn't feed into her BS because they knew she was deflecting from herself because she's embarrassed about the situation. You done brought your nephews on TV, and then we watched you kick them out, then you want to act like somebody did something to you. Girl, bye. You want to use your foster care experience. Oh, they made me feel unwanted sometimes, and they didn't, made me feel like I wasn't part of the family. Didn't you just kick out your own nephews who are actually part of your family? Then she keeps going. Todd looks at her and says, nobody was your friend on this show. We all knew how you got on the show. She's like, how we got? She says, you botched your way in. Now, it's true. We're in season 14 before Marlo got her peach. Marlo has been in at least 7 different seasons. First, she came in as an extra. Then she tried to be loud, throw some money, do what she does as a hoe to try to get noticed as normal hoes do. They do every extra thing they can, try to target people to argue with so that way you can get more camera time. Finally, Nene got kicked off the show. Fader got kicked off the show. They needed somebody to replace him that's going to do some dumb shit, so they picked her. Gave her a peach, girl. You brought your way in. You're sitting up here disrespecting somebody's husband and even talk to you. Then she want to fix your mouth and say, I don't have a problem with Todd. I like Todd. Not after all the stuff that you just said. You're rude and you're disrespectful, and you need to find your own. You need to get yourself a man because you're too involved in other people's relationship because you don't even understand what a relationship is. You can't maintain a friendship. You can't maintain a romantic relationship. You cannot maintain a family relationship where you are your relationship radar just horrible. So Marlo, just hush. You don't need to be giving nobody advice. Period. And Sharee better be paying attention to Marlo, because once you confide in Marlo and she gets upset, she will throw everything in your face, just like she did with Kenya and Mark. You cannot trust Marlo with anything. She's a disingenuous human being, and she is miserable. Miserable. Okay? Then Marlo looks at Kandi and says, who are you? You only know that Atlanta. I said, bitch, I don't know you lying. I know you are lying. You didn't already got your butt read by Eva last season, and she read you for filth, and you look dumb as hell. Now you're going to pick on somebody else because you think Kandi is so quiet and she has a monotone voice, she's not going to read you. Kandi is known for escape. She's known for doing shows on Broadway. We see her, Kandi, online on YouTube where multiple people watch it. Then we have her in The Shy, the episode that Showtime, the shows that's like on season 5. Kandi was in that. She was an actor that as well. Then we have Kandi's Dungeon. Then we got Kandi Coded Nights. Then we had her do her show with her family, Kandi and the Gang. Marlo, all you've done so far is we are still trying to figure out where your money is coming from, and you spelt your company wrong. The Archive. You spelt it wrong. Kandi is known worldwide. That is a guaranteed fact. We only know you through your clients. Marlo, that's how we do. We don't know you from anywhere else. Nobody knew who you were. Even when you were dating football players, we still didn't know who you were. So for you to fix your mouth and say nobody knows you except for in Atlanta, you lying. Heifer, I'm not in Atlanta. I know her well. Lying through your teeth because you don't have anything left to say of intelligence, so you just act dumb. So obviously Candace like, bye lonely. You lonely, you're miserable, you ain't got nobody in your life. You didn't kick out the only 2 people that may have loved you, your nephews. You don't got a man in your life. You'll have your florist and your makeup artist and people that you pay to kiss your ass. You don't have anybody of worth in your space, and all you can do is attack people and be in people's business. You are miserable and you are a hateful human being. As far as I'm concerned, Marlo is on my shit list for the rest of the season. I have nothing nice to say about her, and it's not going to change. Okay? Anyway, that was this review. Like, subscribe, and notification bell. Let me know what y'all think. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.